Hi everybody, it's the 6th of January 2026 and I just wanted to hop on here and wish everybody Happy New Year. I also thought I would share the beauty of our valley on the farm at the moment, so I'm going to turn everything, and there you see, there's Velocity in the foreground. I can't actually see what this is filming because the sun is so bright. But as you can see, we have snow, and for us to have snow here on the farm just inland from Aberystwyth is quite a rare occasion because we're so near the sea, so I'm making the most of it. I do love the snow. I think by the weekend it will be all gone, which in one way I'm slightly sorry, but in another way I'm really quite glad, because next week I travel to Heathrow and then I'm flying out to Bali to hold the Magic and Meaning Retreat in Bali with my wonderful friend Christine Dixon. So I need to get to Heathrow whatever happens, but I think it's much warmer today, and I think we'll probably see the end of it by the weekend. But I thought, I'd like to do a little video, and what nicer way to do it than to walk around the farm and enjoy the snow, and Flossie's certainly enjoying it. So what I wanted to talk about was the energy of healing. Those who know my work will know that I always say the only healer is the system itself, where the system is the animal or the person that I'm working with. And that in itself says a lot, because one of the questions I often get asked is, does someone have to believe in what I do for it to help, to work or help them heal themselves? And my answer is always no, because when I work with a horse or a dog or a cat, they have no idea of who I am and what my beliefs are, and that they may need to believe in something. They just feel the energy and react accordingly. And of course, as I always say, there can be no guarantees from having a session. So yeah, it's about, I've come across this concept written down now 2 or 3 times in the last few months, and I thought, I need to speak to this. And it's about how when somebody is practicing a healing session as a practitioner helping someone else, it's their intention and their energy which they are giving, sending, whatever word you like to use, to the person that is the healing part, in the sense that it's up to the system they're working with as to whether they match that energy. Because that's where I found out those who know me, and I've had the pleasure of meeting so many people around the world at various summits and retreats and workshops. Somewhere along the line, a Kathy Price hug has become an entity in its own right, which I love, but it does sort of still make me take a step back at times. But I realise that's what I'm doing when I give somebody a hug. I'm energetically saying to them, here's my energy, use it, feel it. And so often as I hug someone, after a few seconds, a minute, their shoulders drop and they relax and they get it. And some lovely things get said about the effect of a Kathy Price hug, which is so, I'm so grateful for. But that's exactly it, that I think that when I am doing a session, it's all about intention and it's all energetic. And so I'm hopefully reminding the system of what a healing place feels like, what energy imbalance feels like. And then it's up to the system how far it moves back into that place. And I never ask for feedback, so when I get messages where people have said, big changes, beneficial changes have happened, it always blows my brain, because as a scientist I'm immediately going, yeah, how, why, what's going on? But after 20 years of working in the field of energy, connection and intention, it's just acceptance now that is what can happen. And that's, when that complete change happens, for me, that's the person or the animal stepping into that different energy, feeling that energy, and their system being reminded of that's the energy of balance, of health, and they shift their energy. And sometimes it can be partial as well. It can be, there's a change, maybe not all the way, but then something might change later. So there's degrees within it as well. But yeah, I just wanted to step into that place today because it's such a beautiful energy day. And here you can see my daughter and her partner, their ewe lambs, I think these are, all looking rather dirty against the lovely white snow, and all looking at me expectantly, wondering if I've got any other food. But you can see they've been fed and they're deciding to lie on it. Quelle surprise. But yeah, it's about the energy. And that again, let's talk about that. Let's talk about walking in the countryside, being next to trees, being next to the sea. That's all energetic. That's the energy of those plants, those beings, the sea, affecting us in a good way. We're picking them up. And when we're open, when we can just be and not have any attachment to anything, not to, I'm going to hug a tree and therefore I'm going to feel better. Maybe it won't work. But when we can just stay still and open ourselves up to actually allowing ourselves to feel what is around us and to let the environment imbue in us the energy of that beauty, the energy of old trees, the energy of the sea, the energy of the land itself. Oh goodness, that can be so healing, and it can also be very inspirational. I know from my own experience that when I walk is when I generally get inspiration for writing, or ideas come to me. And I know it's been shown that walking at a steady pace sets the body into that place of openness. And I know many of us, being horse owners, will also say shoveling shit does the same. And I absolutely agree. It's sort of that almost mindless, in the sense you don't have to think about it, movement that allows us to access maybe a different level. But everything is energy. That's the thing. That's where it just makes me smile, because that's the fundamental. I always like to go to ground zero, and something may happen or somebody experiences something, and I'll always say, well, what's below that? What's below that? What's the bottom part? Where is the start of it all? And for me, it's always energy. It cannot be anything else, because at the moment our understanding is of atoms being bundles of energy rather than things and stuff, and vibration, information, frequency. So at the moment, that's our understanding. And as I always say, that whilst this might be my understanding at the moment, if new information comes my way, I am very ready to listen and open up and think and see how it sits with me. So yeah, I suppose my message for the start of the new year is to say, do realise how powerful you are to heal yourself. And when I say that, I want nobody to step into the place of, it's my full-time ill. Jennifer Zelig at the Birmingham Journey on Summit used the most beautiful phrase. She was talking about life being a confluence of events. And I said to her, please, may I use that statement, that one sentence, because it's what our health is as well. It's a confluence of events. It's all of the little things that have been going on coming together, and us with our perception, with our patterns, with our thoughts coming to a place. And if that place is maybe not of the most ease, that's when sometimes we can get into the place of dis-ease, a place where an illness might show up because energetically we're not at ease. But it can also be the opposite, that when we understand that everything is a confluence of events and that it's not our fault, that can be a very releasing factor. And I'd go as far, people will say, oh yeah, but somebody with lung disease and they keep smoking, well, it's their fault. No, it's not. Because for me, the fact they keep smoking is another event. It's another thing that needs to be looked at. Why would they keep smoking when they know it's not beneficial to them? What's underlying that? It's that again about go deeper, find the root cause. So, yes, that's my little message to you all, to hopefully bring in a wonderful 2026 and say you are powerful, you are wonderful, you are unique. What I see my role in this is to help you find all of those things, your uniqueness, your health, your power, your passion. And I'm always here to help if needed. So lots and lots of love and big hugs to you all. And just as we're here, I wanted to look at the floor, because here you can see a track, and that is actually one of the hares that lives on the farm. And every morning when I've gone up to do the horses, I've seen that Mr. or Mrs. Hare has been up the track, and I so love it, because this time of year I don't often see them in the flesh. I did see one a couple of weeks ago just in the headlights of the bike, but I haven't seen one close up for a while. So seeing their little footprints here in the snow is wonderful. Okay, sweethearts, on that note, I'm going to leave you. Lots and lots of love.